Hi, everyone. So in this video, I'm going to go over the PowerPoint. It's chapter 3, part 1. It's about the first step in writing, which is all about the point, right? Go ahead here and take a look. Oh, we are all the way. There we go. All right. So again, this PowerPoint is all about the first step in writing a paragraph, right? And that first step, we're going to learn is about the point. But before we get into that, let's take a look at what a paragraph is, because it consists of several elements. And paragraphs are the building blocks of strong composition. I mean, even when you write an email, unless it's like 2 sentences, it's sort of like a paragraph. You're kind of writing in that form a lot more often than you probably realize, for school, for work, even for, your personal life. We tend, there are definitely times where we write more than just 1 or 2 sentences. When you get into 3, 4, 5 sentences and upwards, then you have what becomes, it looks like a paragraph. So it's an essential element of learning how to have good writing skills is simply to be able to write a paragraph, to know what a paragraph consists of. And then when you get into writing longer things, again, even if it's just an email or a memo or something, for your job that, has multiple ideas that you're discussing, you're going to have multiple paragraphs. In school, it's very likely that you'll have to, even if it's just a real short 1-page paper, it's likely that you'll have to break up your ideas into different paragraphs. Let's take a look here. There are 4 true elements of a paragraph. Right now, we're really only going to focus on 3, but the first one is the topic sentence. Now, the second element is a transition that goes with your topic sentence, but we really only need the transition if you're writing an essay or writing something with multiple paragraphs. But right now we are focusing on single standalone paragraphs. So all we really need is just that topic sentence, that first element, right? But technically the transition is the second element of a paragraph and it goes with the topic sentence. We're going to learn more about that later in the term. The third element of a paragraph are the support sentences. That's the body of the paragraph, what takes up the most space in the paragraph. And then we have our point sentence, all right? That's our 4th element. So we're going to take a quick look at these elements and see what they're all about, all right? So our first element is our topic sentence. It is, I don't know why that went backwards, but it is the key to the paragraph. It reveals the paragraph's focused subject, and it makes some sort of statement or claim. It is positioned as the very first sentence of the paragraph. Okay. The topic sentence points the way. It captures the main idea of the paragraph. It creates interest in the paragraph. It helps the reader predict what the rest of the paragraph is going to discuss. It defines the purpose of the paragraph. It sets the stage for the supporting sentences. So your topic sentence is a crucial element of your paragraph. It is the first sentence of the paragraph, and it really gives the reader a very focused direction for the rest of the paragraph. So when I read the first sentence of a paragraph, it should capture the main idea. It should create some sort of interest that, I'll want to keep reading. It will help me predict what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. It helps define the purpose of the paragraph, why this person has written it in the first place, why does it even exist, what's the point? And then it sets the stage for the supporting sentences. So I know that all of the supporting sentences in the rest of the paragraph are going to relate directly back to that topic sentence. So your topic sentence is crucial, right? So again, the second element of a paragraph is a transition, because if you're writing multiple paragraphs, you want the whole thing to flow, and ideas, get tied together. You want it to be smooth. So you'll have that topic sentence, for your first paragraph. And then in the second paragraph, you'll still have a topic sentence that tells us what this second paragraph is all about, but it will also contain a transition that links us from the first paragraph to the second paragraph, right? We're going to cover transitional topic sentences in week 8 when we switch our focus from single standalone essay or paragraphs to actual essays. So we will come back to transitions as part of your topic sentence, but right now you don't really have to worry about that. We will be discussing transitions in another way when it comes to writing a single standalone paragraph, but you do not need to worry about having a transition in the topic sentence just yet, okay? Our third element is our support sentences, the rest of the paragraph. Those are the main ideas and supporting examples, and they should relate directly to the topic sentence and support that topic sentence directly, right? And again, the position of those supporting sentences is pretty much everything after sentence 1 and before the last sentence, everything in between. It takes up the most space of your paragraph, your support sentences do. Those support sentences are going to be made up of details, examples, explanation. It just depends on what type of paragraph you're writing, what the purpose is, what your subject is. Sometimes we're writing a paragraph where, we are making some sort of statement. You're going to write an evaluation paragraph where you basically review your topic, and let's just say a restaurant. You can do a little restaurant review. And if you're saying that, your favorite restaurant, let's just say it's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a great place to eat because they're always clean, they always have great service, and their food is delicious. You would say those things in the topic sentence because that's the focus of your paragraph. But then the rest of the paragraph are going to give details and examples and explanations of those three things. So you're going to give examples of how Chick-fil-A is always clean. You're going to give examples and explain how Chick-fil-A always has good service. And you're going to give examples and explain how Chick-fil-A has delicious food, right? If you're writing something that's a little more formal, maybe the examples and explanation are going to be more academic in nature, or maybe you're going to be giving data, statistics, facts, right? So, but whatever it might require, depending on exactly what you're writing, the whole idea is that your support sentences support the topic sentence. You have specific main ideas to help support that topic sentence, and each main idea is going to be explained with some sort of example or detail or fact, what have you, right? You want to make sure that those supporting sentences are logically ordered and focused. So logically ordered meaning, okay, so my Chick-fil-A example, I had 3 reasons why I thought Chick-fil-A was such a great place to eat. Which reason do I want to talk about first? Which reason do I want to talk about second? Which one do I want to talk about third? There needs to be a reason why I'm discussing them in a certain order. And we're going to talk about, in a later lesson, ways that you can think about how to order your main ideas. You want to make sure, though, that you're, however you decide to order your main ideas, that when you're talking about one main idea, the first main idea, you talk about it in full before you move on to the next main idea. So when I'm talking first about how Chick-fil-A is clean, I want to say everything I have to say about their cleanliness in that part of the paragraph. I don't want to talk about their cleanliness, then move on to their how their service is good and then suddenly say something else about how they're clean, right? No, no, no. Everything about how clean they are goes back up in that first section, right? Logically ordered and focused. Focused meaning that every sentence in that paragraph should directly relate to that topic sentence. You know, if I'm talking about how Chick-fil-A provides good, is clean, provides good service, and has tasty food, there really shouldn't be a sentence in that paragraph that starts talking about how they're closed on Sundays and how that's kind of inconvenient because on some Sundays I'm really in the mood for Chick-fil-A. That has no bearing on this particular paragraph because my focus on in this particular paragraph is why they're such a good place to eat due to their cleanliness, service, and food, right? You want to make sure that obviously anything you write that, you're promoting interest in your topic. And one way to do that is simply to make sure that everything in the paragraph is relating back to that topic sentence and that everything is presented in an organized fashion. Okay. The fourth element of a paragraph is the point sentence. I will sometimes refer to this as your concluding sentence because it comes at the end of your paragraph. You do not want your paragraph to end with the last example of your last main idea. So I wouldn't want my paragraph to end with something about Chick-fil-A's food. It just feels like the paragraph drops off, like there should have been more. There should have been more. I should have had a sentence at the end that reinforces my main point. I got to come back to that topic sentence in some way and remind my reader at the end of the paragraph that our focus was 3 reasons why Chick-fil-A is such a great place to eat, right? Okay, so we know that a paragraph has 4 elements: topic sentence, transition, which we will discuss later, support sentences, and a point sentence, concluding sentence. So now we have a brief understanding of each of those elements. Let's take a look at the first and second steps. Chapter 3 covers the first and second steps in writing. This PowerPoint, we're going to focus on just the first step, right? Step 1 is begin with a point. So we've kind of already covered this. The first step in writing a paragraph is to decide what point you want to make and to write that point in a single sentence. That point is commonly known as your topic sentence, right? We just talked about those. You place it at the beginning of your paragraph, the very first sentence of your paragraph, to help guide yourself and your reader. If you have a good topic sentence in place at the beginning of your paragraph, you can continually come back to that topic sentence to make sure you are staying on track, that you're staying focused. And it helps guide your reader because then the reader knows based off the very first sentence what's going to come in the rest of the paragraph. Everything else in the paragraph should then develop and support that single point from the topic sentence. All right. So here's an example of a paragraph here. It's called Changes in the Family. Changes in our society in recent years have weakened family life. First of all, today's mothers spend much less time with their children. A generation or two ago, most households got by on dad's paycheck and mom stayed home. Now, many mothers work and their children attend an after-school program, stay with a neighbor, or go home to an empty house. Another change is that families no longer eat together. In the past, mom would be home to fix a full dinner: salad, pot roast, potatoes, and vegetables with homemade cake or pie to top it off. Dinner today is more likely to be takeout food or frozen dinners eaten at home or fast food eaten out, with different members of the family eating at different times. Finally, television has taken the place of family conversation and togetherness. Back where there were traditional meals, family members would have a chance to eat together, talk with each other, and share events of the day in a leisurely manner. But now families are more likely to be looking at the TV set than talking to one another. Most homes have several TV sets, which people watch in separate rooms. Clearly, modern life is a challenge to family life. All right, so thinking about what we just learned, does this paragraph begin with a topic sentence that reveals its focus, right? Changes in our society in recent years have weakened family life. When I read that topic sentence, I am expecting the paragraph to then talk about the changes in recent years that have weakened family life. And that is exactly what the rest of this paragraph does. He supports that point with three main ideas: how mothers work now, families' eating habits have changed, and how television has affected family life. And when he talks about how moms have to work now, everything in that section relates directly to mothers working. And everything in that section helps support the topic sentence. In the section on families' eating habits, all of the sentences in that section relate directly to the changes in eating habits, and that point directly supports the topic sentence. Everything in the section about television, everything in that section directly relates to how TV has changed family life, and that all supports the topic sentence as well. So all of his examples support each main idea, and all the main ideas support the topic sentence, right? That's a good example of a solid paragraph. It has all the elements and does exactly what it's supposed to do. Let's take a look at this one, the family. Family togetherness is very important. However, today's mothers spend much less time at home than their mothers did for several reasons. Most fathers are also home much less than they used to be. In previous times, families had to work together running a farm. Now children are left at other places or are home alone much of the time. Some families do find ways to spend more time together despite the demands of work. Another problem is that with parents gone so much of the day, nobody is at home to prepare wholesome meals for the family to eat together. The meals grandma used to make would include pot roast and fried chicken, mashed potatoes, salad, vegetables, and delicious homemade desserts. Today's takeout foods and frozen meals can provide good nutrition. Some menu choices offer nothing but high fat and high sodium choices. People can supplement prepared foods by eating sufficient vegetables and fruit. Finally, television is also a big obstacle to togetherness. It sometimes seems that people are constantly watching TV and never talking to each other. Even when parents have friends over, it is often to watch something on TV. TV must be used wisely to achieve family togetherness. Wow, okay. This paragraph, unlike the first one, does not support a single point. It starts with what we think is a main point. Family togetherness is very important. Okay, it's still a very broad statement, but at least it has me thinking that the rest of the paragraph is going to explain why family togetherness is very important, perhaps. But as we know, that is not at all what the rest of that paragraph does. There's nothing that talks about why family togetherness is important. Instead, the rest of the paragraph kind of swerves all over the place, right? First talks about mothers spending less time at home, and you're like, okay, well, maybe that's what the paragraph is actually about. But then, nope, because after that, he goes on to talk about fathers, and then families in previous times, and families who find ways to spend time together. And then there's the random section about food and nutrition. So, and then it ends with this last idea about how TV must be used wisely to achieve family togetherness. I was like, that's not what this paragraph was about. Why is that your concluding sentence? How is that your concluding sentence is supposed to remind me of your paragraph's focus, your paragraph's purpose, the point you were trying to make? And you didn't, that's not what this paragraph did. It is clearly not unified around a specific point. And instead, it's kind of all over the place. And it never really lands on one specific idea. It's not even like most of the paragraph is on point and just one section of it kind of goes off the rails. No, it never converges around a single main point. It is almost like this was the first draft, or maybe a pre-writing, where you're just getting all your ideas down on paper. That's what this paragraph sounds like to me. And then they worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, thought about their focus, thought about what their actual main ideas should be, and then ended up with this version that we read first, which was definitely unified. Right? So you can kind of see what happens when, you don't make a point and stick to it, right? When your point is lost. And maybe the point that gets made in your topic sentence isn't really the point you want to make in the first place. So it's a really good example of how that first sentence sets the tone for the rest of the paragraph. And, let's say he had taken this topic sentence here, family togetherness is very important, and had used it here at the beginning of this version. Family togetherness is very important. First of all, today's mothers spend much less time with their children. Even though this paragraph is very well written, if he had started with the wrong topic sentence, we would have been very confused. So that topic sentence really is your starting point. It is where the paragraph succeeds. Well, there's a lot more that is required in order for the paragraph to succeed, but certainly the topic sentence alone can cause the paragraph to fail. Super important. All right. So we know that the opening sentence of a paragraph is our topic sentence. You can see that it's made up sort of two parts: the limited topic, right? The focus, and the writer's attitude or idea about that limited topic. Sort of like what the purpose is. Why are we talking about this topic? So you can kind of look here, at this example right here. My dog is extremely stubborn. So we know that the focused topic is the dog. And what is the writer's attitude? What is the idea of the paragraph? Well, it's obviously going to discuss why this dog is so stubborn. Probably giving examples of how the dog is stubborn. It's not a great, super solid topic sentence. My dog is extremely stubborn. I would still work on that to get it even more focused. But, it at least tells me the focused topic and why we're talking about that topic. The topic is the dog. Why are we talking about the dog? Because the dog is super stubborn. All right. So everything else in that paragraph then should discuss this stubborn dog, right? Okay. You might find it helpful to think of the focus, the subject of that topic sentence as an umbrella. So we've got an example here. Let's say our topic sentence said, ATA is a great place to go to college. That is our umbrella, that idea. And then our main ideas that will help support that topic sentence all fall under that umbrella. So my three main reasons why ATA is a great place to go to college is flexible scheduling, reasonable tuition, and career placement services. And those three main ideas fall under that umbrella of why ATA is a great place to go to college. And then I'm going to explain each one of those. What do I mean by flexible scheduling? What kind of scheduling does ATA offer and why is it a good thing? What do I mean by reasonable tuition? What do I mean by career placement services? I'm going to explain each one of those and why those are good things and why they make ATA a great place to go to college. Right? If we were to sort of diagram those ideas from that potential paragraph about ATA, our point, right, our main point is that ATA is a great place to go to college. Our first supporting idea is that ATA offers flexible scheduling. Our second support is that ATA offers reasonable tuition. Our third support is that ATA provides career placement services. Those are just my three main supporting ideas. And then each one of them I will go into more detail about, right? But just sort of diagramming the basic ideas of the paragraph. The point is this, and then these three are the supports. Let's take a look and see how we would label these sets, okay? So we've got 4 sentences over here on this side. My cursor right there. We have to figure out which one of those sentences encapsulates the point of the set and which sentences are the supporting main ideas for that point. So the sentences we have here are: some people skip breakfast, some people have poor eating habits, some people always order supersized portions, some people eat almost no fruits or vegetables. All right, so I'm looking at those and I can kind of tell that skipping breakfast is probably not a good thing. Ordering supersized portions all the time, probably not a good thing. And not eating any fruits or vegetables, also not a good thing. So I can tell that those 3 sentences are all examples of poor eating habits. So I can tell that this was the point, and then this one, and this one are the supporting ideas, right? Oh, I think we're right. Over here on this one, my blood pressure has dropped. This new exercise program must be working. I have lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks. I don't tire as easily as I used to. Again, looking at the first sentence, my blood pressure has dropped. That is probably a good thing. I don't really have any context yet, because if your blood pressure drops too much, that's not a good thing. So I don't know, we'll see. This new exercise program must be working. Oh, okay, well now blood pressure and exercise, now I'm kind of getting a better idea of why it's a good thing that blood pressure has dropped. Okay, I've lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks. That's pretty good. I don't tire as easily as I used to. Also good. So now I'm starting to figure out that some of these sentences are reasons why the exercise program must be working, right? So this would be our point, right? This one right here. Support, support, support. And that was correct, right? So if we were going to write it out, we would say, going back to this one, some people have poor eating habits. For example, some people skip breakfast. Also, some people always order supersized portions. And finally, some people eat almost no fruits or vegetables. I mean, obviously, that's a paragraph with no supporting examples, just a point and 3 main ideas. But you can see how this would be the point and how the other 3 sentences are the supporting ideas for that main point. Same thing over here. This new exercise program must be working. First, it has helped lower my blood pressure. I've also lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks. And finally, I don't tire as easily as I used to, right? All right, so there's another set here you can look at, and then the answers are on the next page. I do suggest, I'm not going to go through them right now because we already went through one set. These other 2 sets here are there for you in case you need extra help, because there will be a section on one of your homework assignments this week where you have to do this, where you are given a list of sentences like this, and you're asked to identify the point and the supports, right? So, and again, the answers are here on this slide, so you can check yourself. You can come back to these slides if you run into problems with that section of the homework. I'm always here to answer questions as well, but it's already nice and here for you in the PowerPoint, right? So we know that a paragraph must begin with a point and that the rest of the paragraph has to stick to that point. Your topic sentence should reveal your paragraph's focus. And while that sounds easy, and eventually it does become easy, there are several common errors that you need to be aware of and avoid here as you start learning about topic sentences. All right. So these 4 errors that you need to avoid. Error number 1 is using a question as your topic sentence. You cannot start a paragraph with, have you ever owned a car that continually gives you problems? You cannot start a paragraph with, would you prefer to live in a house or an apartment? You cannot start a paragraph with, why do people get divorced? You cannot begin a paragraph with a question. The only exception to that rule is your introductory paragraph or an essay. Again, we will talk about those later in the term. But for single standalone paragraphs and for body paragraphs in your essay, body paragraphs are everything that comes after your introductory paragraph and before your concluding paragraph. So the main big portion of an essay, normal paragraphs cannot begin with a question. Error number 2 is an announcement. You do not want to begin a paragraph saying, my car is the concern of this paragraph. You do not want to begin your paragraph by saying that, or a paper by saying the subject of this paper will be my apartment. The subject of this paragraph will be my apartment. Or I want to talk about increases in divorce rates. Or for this assignment, I chose to review Chick-fil-A. Or the topic I chose to evaluate is, Olive Garden. You do not want to announce your topic or draw attention to the fact that you are writing anything. You want it to sound natural and organic, like you simply sat down and started writing about your topic. You do not want a statement that is too broad. You don't want to start a paragraph with, many people have problems with their cars. Okay, well, I guess I can assume that this paragraph is going to be about car problems, but good Lord, that could mean anything. So I still don't really know what the paragraph's about. It's not focused enough. It's not specific enough. Same thing with the places where people live have definite effects on their lives. Well, what the heck does that mean? Of course, where you live affects your life. I don't know what that means, and I don't know what to expect from this paragraph based off of that topic sentence. Or many people have trouble getting along with others. Again, it's like, yeah. What does that mean? What does it mean? It does not give me any direction. I still don't know what to expect from the paragraph. But you don't want a topic sentence that's too narrow either. You don't want to start your paragraph off with, my car is a Ford Focus. Okay, I don't really know how you could say anything else about that. My car is a Ford Focus. Okay, how many other ways can you explain that? What is there to support? My car is a Ford Focus. I know it's a Ford Focus because it says so on the back. I know it's a Ford Focus because it's what it says on the title. It's too narrow. Or I have no hot water in my apartment at night. Okay, like you're not giving me anything to work with here. I still don't really know what to expect from the rest of this paragraph, or if there even should be a rest of this paragraph. Same thing with almost 1 of every 2 marriages ends in divorce. Okay. Now, might there be a focused, appropriate topic in those statements? Yeah, but you haven't gotten there yet, right? So almost 1 of every 2 marriages ends in divorce. Well, maybe what the paragraph is really going to be about is like the 3 major reasons why marriages end in divorce. And it's like, okay, well, Okay, you need to say that in your topic sentence then. Instead of just this straight fact, almost one of every two marriages ends in divorce. How about one of every two marriages ends in divorce, and the three top reasons are blank, blank, blank. Now we have a focused topic sentence, right? But just these statements of fact, that is not a good topic sentence. It still doesn't tell the reader what the paragraph is going to be about, and there's no real way to develop a fact, right? Okay, so 4 big errors in creating topic sentences. Do your best to avoid them. Let's practice a little more with topic sentences here. What we have here is a paragraph that is missing its topic sentence. So our job is to read the rest of the paragraph and then choose which topic sentence down here we think fits best. So it's about Mexican folk dances. All right, so men often wear a Mexican cowboy outfit, which consists of a tight black suit with silver trim. They wear large hats called sombreros. Sometimes the men wear peasant garb, cotton shirts and trousers with a colorful scarf around their necks. Women dance in peasant blouses and full colorful skirts. They often have many colorful ribbons and lace sewn on the sleeves, bodices, and hems of the costume. Okay, well, so we know it's about Mexican folk dances in general. But what is this specific paragraph about? Well, the men often wear a Mexican cowboy outfit, the black suit, silver trim, the large hats, the peasant garb, cotton shirts and trousers, colorful scarves. So that part is about what the men wear. And then the women dance in peasant blouses and skirts. So the second part is about what the women wear. So clearly this paragraph is about what is worn in Mexican folk dances. So let's see what our options are. Many different steps are used in folk dancing around the world, including skips, hops, slides, and steps. We know that's wrong because nothing in that paragraph talked about the steps that are used in the dances. Nothing. The folk dances of Mexico have originated among indigenous tribes long before the arrival of the Spanish explorers. Okay, well, that does mention the folk dances of Mexico, but the paragraph isn't about where they originated or how they originated or from whom they originated. So that really wouldn't be a good topic sentence either. Folk dances may be performed for many different occasions, such as weddings, festivals, preparations for war, or celebrations of victory. No, nothing in the rest of the paragraph talked about the reasons why folk dances are performed. How about the last one? Mexican folk dances are traditional communal dances in which the dancers wear traditional costumes. Yes, that is what the paragraph is about, what they wear. That is the correct answer. All right. All right. I have 2 other examples here, one about the New York City subway system and one about World War II. You're free to look at these a little more closely on your own if you download the PowerPoint. Again, I just wanted to go through one example with you because there's a section like this on one of this week's homework assignments where you're given the paragraph without its topic sentence, and then you have 4 choices and you have to choose the topic sentence that works best for that paragraph. All right, so actually I'm going to talk about this one real quick. I wonder, I can't see the whole thing, so I'm going to minimize this so I can read the whole paragraph here. I actually do want to talk about this one because this one's a little trickier than maybe the trickiest out of the ones here in the PowerPoint, and maybe even trickier than any that are on the homework assignments. All right, so this paragraph is about World War II. Again, in general, has something to do with World War II. During the war, the Allies were in desperate need of a code that the enemy could not decipher. In order to transmit top secret messages, the U.S. Army enlisted the help of Navajo soldiers. Natives of the American Southwest, the Navajo have a unique tongue. No other people in the world speak a language with similar sounds, grammar, or syntax. It would be impossible for any non-Navajo to know what was being said, especially German or Japanese spies. The Allies won several key battles as a result of having Navajo communications officers. The Axis spies never managed to decipher what these Navajo code talkers were saying. Okay, so when we look at that paragraph, we know that it is about World War II, how they used Native Americans of the Southwest because of their unique language so that they could keep their messages secret and coded from the enemy. All right. So the Navajo are a special people with a language unlike any other. That's true, and it's part of one of the ideas in the paragraph, but that's not the full extent of this paragraph's focus. This paragraph's focus is not just that the Navajo are a special people with a language unlike any other. That's not quite right. How about World War II was the most destructive conflict in the history of the world? No, because there's nothing else in this paragraph that discusses how it was the most destructive conflict in the history of the world. So that was definitely out. How about secret codes are a very important way for armies to keep their plans out of enemy hands? Well, again, that's the other kind of part about this paragraph. So that first version over here about the Navajo, that touched on part of what was in the paragraph. And this one over here about secret codes, keeping them out of enemy hands, that's another element of the paragraph, but each one by themselves would not be a good topic sentence because this paragraph was about more than just the Navajo having a special language, and it was about more than just how secret codes can be useful. So let's look at this option right here. Native American soldiers, i.e. the Navajo, played a critical role keeping codes out of enemy hands because of their unique language, played a critical role in the Allied victory in World War II. That's the topic sentence. It does not have to say Navajo specifically. We learn very early in the paragraph that we're talking about Navajo specifically. We don't have to know specifically what that critical role was. That gets explained in the rest of the paragraph. You know, an Allied victory in World War II, that tells us the context of this. So that's the correct topic sentence because it hits on every element of the paragraph. It encapsulates the whole thing. Okay. All right. So let's practice with actually creating some topic sentences. Right. So we go back to slideshow version here. So, all right. So again, we have a paragraph and it's missing its topic sentence. But this time we don't have any choices. We have to come up with the topic sentence on our own. So what we have is, first, people who exercise look better. Exercise is important to keep our bodies in good shape. In addition, people who exercise have more energy. For example, a person who exercises can walk upstairs or climb hills more easily. People who exercise have a healthier heart too. Finally, exercise reduces stress and helps you have a clear mind. Too much stress can cause you to worry a lot, and that is not good for your health. For these reasons, if you want to improve your health, you should exercise regularly. Okay, so how would we go about creating a topic sentence for this paragraph? Well, we have to look at the main ideas to begin with. The first main idea is about how exercise helps people look better. The second main idea is about how exercise can help you feel more energetic. And the third main idea is about how exercise can help you have a healthier heart. Let's see. And then the final main idea is how exercise can help reduce stress. So it's those four main ideas that we have to encapsulate in a single topic sentence. And it all has to do with the benefits of exercising regularly, right? So you just need a sentence that somehow conveys that exercising regularly can help you look better, have more energy, have a healthier heart, and reduce stress. Or, this one's okay. There are many excellent reasons for exercising several times a week. This is from the book, to be honest, your textbook. I honestly think that is an adequate topic sentence. It's not a super solid topic sentence. I would at least, instead of saying there are many excellent reasons, I would at least say there are 4 main reasons why for exercising several times a week. At least let us know how many. But I do think that the most solid topic sentence is going to include the main ideas. So 4 excellent reasons for exercising several times each week is that exercise helps you look good, helps you have more energy, helps you have a healthier heart, and helps you reduce stress. And then you explain each of those main ideas in more detail in the rest of the paragraph. But that's how you go about creating a topic sentence. Sometimes you'll be able to create your topic sentence first and then write the rest of the paragraph. Sometimes, especially if you're a little anxious, a little bit of anxiety about what you're writing or the assignment itself, what have you, sometimes you have to just write the paragraph and then kind of come back to it and say, okay, I knew what my focus was going to be in this paragraph and I stayed on focus, but now I need to actually come up with that topic sentence, right? So you look through and you figure out, okay, what were my main ideas? What was this paragraph's focus? And then you create a sentence that expresses that. And it's not a question, it's not, do you know why exercising regularly is so good for you? It's not an announcement. In this paragraph, I'm going to discuss why exercise is so good for you. Right? Stay away from, remember, avoid those common errors. Just work on figuring out what the main ideas of the paragraph are and how they're all connected. That helps you create the topic sentence. Right? All right. And again, there's another example here if you want to take a closer look. But I'm only going to discuss that one. There's a section on the homework this week where you will do this as well. You'll be given the paragraph without its topic sentence. You won't have any choices this time. You have to create the topic sentences. So come back to these slides if you're struggling with that. Okay, how did we do that? We looked at the main ideas. Based on those main ideas, what can we assume is the focus topic of the paragraph? Right? So remember, paragraph always has 3 elements. Sometimes 4, but definitely 3. Topic sentence, support sentences, and your concluding / point sentence. We know that a paragraph has to begin with a point and stick to that point. That point or focus must be revealed in the topic sentence. And while creating topic sentences does take practice, you're not going to be fantastic at it immediately, but you do want to make sure that you're doing your best to avoid those common errors. Questions, announcements, a statement that is too broad, and a statement that is too narrow. Okay? All right. So again, a lot of this PowerPoint will look very familiar when you get to week 2, assignment 1. There are 3 sections on that assignment that look exactly like some of the sections of this PowerPoint. So pay attention to those slides and come back to those slides if you need to. If you have any questions about anything in this PowerPoint, the elements of a paragraph and what a topic sentence is and how to make sure that it's doing its job, please reach out. We're going to keep working with it, but this is a super important lesson because your topic sentences for your formal writing assignment paragraphs in weeks 5 and 6, the topic sentence for each paragraph is going to be worth quite a bit of points. So it is something that we want to fully understand and start working working on. So use the assignments this week as practice. It's not about getting it totally right. It's about practice. And then my feedback will tell you, like, oh, no, this is great. You did great. Keep doing this. This is exactly what I'll be expecting when you do those formally graded paragraphs. Or, like, you were on the right track, but you kind of missed this or you missed that. Or, it looks like you struggled. Looks like the lessons from this week didn't stick. Go back through the PowerPoints and the videos and then reach out to me so that we can set up a time to go through it together more thoroughly. I want you to use the assignments, take them seriously, but as practice, okay? Because you really want to make sure that you are ready when week 5 gets here and you have to write your own paragraph with a solid focused topic sentence. Okay. All right. You guys are free to go ahead and move on to the next lesson, which is chapter 3, part 2, the second step in writing, which is all about the support.